everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having an amazing week and an amazing Sunday. Today we'll be reading Genesis 34 to 35. We'll have a small recap on Genesis 33, and then Okay, so Genesis 33 is when Jacob meets Esau. And it says, "Now Jacob looked up and Esau coming toward with 400 men, so he divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the two slaves." And then it said that he himself went ahead and bowed to the ground 7 times until he approached his brother. And Esau ran to meet him, hugged him, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. Then they wept. When Esau looked up and saw the women and children, he asked, "Who are these with you?" Jacob said, "The children God has graciously given me." And then let me go to down there. So Esau said, "What do you mean by this whole procession I met? To find favor with you, my lord," he answered. "I have enough, my brother," Esau replied. "Keep what you have." But Jacob said, "No, please, if I found favor with you, take this gift from me. For indeed I have seen your face, and it is like seeing God's face, since you have accepted me. Please take my present that was brought to you, because God has been gracious to me, and I have everything I need." So Jacob urged him until he accepted. Okay, that was the small recap of Genesis 33. Now we could read Genesis 34, and it's called Dinah Defiled. Okay, brace yourself. Okay, Leah's daughter Dinah, whom Leah bore to Jacob, went out to see some of the young women of the area. When Shechem, son of Hamor, the Hivite, who was the region's chieftain, saw her, he took her and raped her. He became infatuated with Jacob's daughter Dinah. He loved the young girl and spoke tenderly to her. He said, "Get me this girl as a wife," he told his father. Jacob heard that Shechem had defiled his daughter Dinah, but since his sons were with his livestock in the field, he remained silent until they returned. Meanwhile, Shechem's father Hamor came to speak with Jacob. Jacob's sons returned from the field. When they heard about the incident, they were deeply grieved and very angry. For Shechem had committed an outrage against Israel by raping Jacob's daughter, and such a thing should not be done. Hamor said to Jacob's son, "My son Shechem has his heart set on your daughter. Please give her to him as a wife, intermarry with us, give your daughters to us, and take our daughters for yourselves. Live with us, the land is before you, settle here, move about, and acquire property in it." Then Shechem said to Dinah's father and brothers, "Grant me this favor, and I will give you whatever you say. Demand of me a high compensation and gift. I'll give whatever you ask me. Just give the girl to be my..." Oh! So the guy that did what he did is saying, "I'll give you whatever you ask me. Just give the girl to be my wife." Oh wait, I didn't... Okay, wait, I'll come back to that because I just noticed I had notes. I'll come back to that after. Right, okay, so he said, "Just give the girl to be my wife." But Jacob's son answered Shechem and his father Hamor deceitfully because he had defiled their sister Dinah. "We cannot do this thing," they said to them. "Giving our sister to an uncircumcised man is a disgrace to us. We will agree with you only on this condition. If all your males are circumcised as we are, then we will give you our daughters. Take your daughters for ourselves, live with you, and become one people. But if you will not listen to us and be circumcised, then we will take our daughter and go." The words seemed good to Hamor and his son Shechem. The young men did not delay doing this. because he was delighted with Jacob's daughter. Now he was the most important in all his father's family. So Hamor and his son Shechem went to the gate of their city and spoke to the men of their city. "These men are peaceful towards us," they said. "Let them live in our land and move about in it, for indeed the region is large enough for them. Let's take their daughters as our wives and give our daughters to them. But the men will agree to live with us and be one people only on one condition. If all our men are circumcised as they are, won't their livestock, their possession, and all their animals become ours? Only let's agree with them and they will live with us." All the men who had come to the city gates listened to Hamor and his son Shechem, and all those men were circumcised. On the third day, when they were still in pain, two of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, took their swords, went into the unsuspecting city, and killed every male. They killed Hamor and his son Shechem with their swords, took Dinah from Shechem's house, and went away. Jacob's son came to the slaughter and plundered the city because their city had been defiled. They took their flocks, herds, donkeys, and whatever was in the city and their field. They captured all their possessions, dependents, and wives, and plundered everything in the houses. Then Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You have brought So Jacob, which is the dad, said to the two sons, "You have brought trouble on me, making me odious to the inhabitants of the land. The Canaanites and the Perizzites, we are few in number. If they unite against me and attack me, I and my household will be destroyed." But they answered, "Should he treat our sister like a prostitute?" Let me read my notes, child. Okay, so I said, okay, okay, those notes were for the previous verse, which I read last video, but I said, that is crazy. Were women back then men's properties to be taken as wives just like that? Anyway, I don't even have to answer that question. And then I said, I don't know how to feel about how they made a deal with them just to kill every male and take all the possessions, including wives. Okay, but they raped your sister, but blood are in your hands. What would God think? Why make the deal? They would have died if Jacob didn't remain obedient. They would have died if Jacob didn't remain obedient. But yeah, I don't really know how to feel about that story. Like, I don't know how to feel. Like, I feel like the brothers really protected their sister in that way. But then I'm thinking, like, didn't later on, or like, I don't know if in Moses' law, are we even in Moses right now? Wait, I don't think, we haven't talked about Moses yet, my bad. But, yeah, because, like, I remember, like, either later on and because I'm already in, guys, I've moved so far. I'm already in Samuel. But I don't know if, they already told the Israelites not to kill. My dog is trying to open the door. But, yeah, not to kill. So I'm not sure if God looked down on them for killing them, because they were taking justice. They were revenging their sister. So I'm not sure how to feel about that. I'm not looking down on them, though. It's just crazy to do that and then say that you're in love with the girl. Does that make sense? Let me stop talking about it. Anyway, Genesis 35. Return to Bethel. God said to Jacob, "Get up, go to Bethel, and settle there. Build an altar there to the God who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So Jacob said to his family and all who were with him, "Get rid of the foreign gods that are among you. Purify yourself and change your clothes. We must get up and go to Bethel. I will build an altar there to the God who answered me in the day of my distress. He has been with me everywhere I have gone." Then they gave Jacob all their foreign gods and their earrings, and Jacob hid them under the oak near Shechem. When they set out, a terror from God came over the cities around them, and they did not pursue Jacob's sons. So Jacob and all who were with him came to Luz, that is Bethel, in the land of Canaan. Jacob built an altar there and called the place El Bethel, because it was there that God had revealed himself to him when he was fleeing from his brother. Deborah, the one who had nursed and raised Rebekah, died and was buried under the oak south of Bethel. So Jacob named it Alon Bakuth. God appeared to Jacob again after he returned from Padan Aram, and he blessed him. God said to him, "Your name is Jacob. You will no longer be Jacob, but your name will be Israel." So he named him Israel. God also said to him, "I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation indeed, an assembly of nations will come from you, and kings will descend from you. I will give to you the land that I gave to Abraham and Isaac, and I will give the land to your future descendants." Then God withdrew from him at the place where he had spoken to him. Jacob set up a marker at the place where he had spoken to him, a stone marker. He poured a drink offering on it and poured oil on it. Jacob named the place where God had spoken with him Bethel. Now we're about to read about Jacob's death. They set out from Bethel when they were still some distance from Ephrath. Rachel began to give birth, and her labor was difficult. During her difficult labor, the midwife said to her, "Don't be afraid, for you have another son." With her last breath, for she was dying, she named him Benoni. But his father called him Benjamin. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephraim, that is Bethlehem. Jacob set up a marker on her grave. It is the marker at Rachel's graves still today. Israel's sons. Israel set out again and pitched his tent beyond the Tower of Eder. Israel is now Jacob. While Israel was living in the region, Reuben went in. While Israel was living in that region, Reuben went in and slept with his father's concubine, Bilhah, and Israel heard about it. Jacob had 12 sons. Leah's sons were Reuben, Jacob's firstborn. So, do you get what's happening here? Reuben is the son of Jacob, which is now Israel, right? Jacob, Israel, same people. Reuben is his son, and Reuben dared to sleep with Bilhah, which is Israel / Jacob's concubine, his slave wife. And I think Bilhah was either Leah's slave or Rachel's slave. It was one of them. Right? So that means Reuben slept with his stepmother technically, because Bilhah was married to the dad. So that's your stepmother.
I don't know what to do now. I don't have the skills necessary to deal with this.
Anyway, I can't just say anyway, but you get it. Jacob had 12 sons. Leah's sons were Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, And then Rachel's sons were Joseph, Benjamin, the sons of Rachel's slave Bilhah. Rachel's slave. Okay. Jacob was born from Leah. Okay? So yes, indeed. Bilhah was his stepmother. But the sons of Rachel's slave Bilhah were Dan and Naphtali. So there was only two kids from her. The sons of Leah's slave Zilpah were Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Padan Aram. And I wrote, Reuben, sleeping with your stepmother? ? Wow. Isaac's death. Jacob came to his father Isaac at Mamre and Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had stayed. Isaac lived 180 years old. He took his last breath and died, and was gathered to his people, old and full of days. His sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Oh, we're done. I'm so sorry if I didn't have enough notes today. I just woke up from a nap as well, so if I sound off or I didn't give that much commentary or that's because I just woke up. But I hope you had fun listening to me read about the Bible today. So, yeah. Main point with that, Simeon and Levi killed to revenge their sister Dinah. Reuben went and slept with his dad's concubine. Jacob and Esau made up, so Esau is not mad at Jacob anymore. He forgave him. Jacob's name turned into Israel. Yeah, I think that's the main point. Yeah. So homework is Genesis 36. It's mostly going to be talking about Esau's family. I'm not sure if I'll cut it into little sections because there's a lot of names, and then it's mostly talking about the chiefs and the sons and stuff like that, and the rulers of Edom. But we'll see. Yeah. Okay, bye. Remember that God cared. Remember that I care for you, but God cares for you way more. Have a great day.